It's UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. Thanks for tuning in. And those of you who saw my earnings video this Sunday night, thanks for tuning in as well. I thought gave a great outlook for this week. And a lot of the points I brought up came to fruition. SanDisk. SanDisk had a great move. I'm going to get into some charts here real quick. But I think this week, this earnings week, completely illustrates why you trade stock options. Namely, Chipotle Mexican Grill. CMG is the stock ticker. Stock took quite a tumble today. And if you look at the chart, if I could draw with my tools here, a cliff. I'm not that great of an artist. And that cliff ended right here at the close of session yesterday. And look how it fell. Just that cliff, it just completely fell off it. Avocados, lettuce, tomato, everything fell off that cliff. And Chipotle Mexican Grill just completely crumbled, dropping almost $100. That's just amazing move. And I mean, couldn't be any more clear than saying that's an option trader's wet dream. That's just perfection right there. And it showed through with the prices of stock options on the put side for Chipotle Mexican Grill. If you look at the $345 strike, they went from something like 15 cents. Let me go into the chart here real quick and I'll show you. And these options just completely just went ballistic. So you can look, this is the $340 strike. They closed trade yesterday at 16 cents and they opened at about $10, went as high as $31.90. So that's $160 into $31.90. Well, I'm sorry, that's $160 into $31,900. That's 16 cents to $31.90. That's just amazing. And that's why we trade stock options, especially out of the money stock options, and why I point out all the time, just a little tab will do. Certainly you could have bought 5 of them. You could have bought 5 of them for $95 and had 15 grand. That's just to put it into perspective. Those options themselves were from open to close up 10,000%, over 10,000%. That's the $340 strike. And that is why we trade stock options. Just a beautiful move. And how about SanDisk? This is a stock I was talking about in my earnings video this past weekend. Talked about earnings coming up this week. If you pull up a chart, I'll do that later, possibly if I have the time. But SanDisk, and you can look at the options here. I'll pull back here on a 5-day. You can see the options continually gain throughout the week. I pointed them out here Sunday before the open. You could have got in at the low here Tuesday at about 60 cents, 67 cents. They hit a high of $6.70. This is the $34 strike. So that's a 10-bagger. They were up 129% alone today. And if you go out a little further, say the $35 strike, these hit a low of 40 cents. Let me see what they hit there on the 17th. Yeah, 40 cents. Hit a high of 53 cents. So that's about a 13-bagger. That's about $500 into over $6,000. And I was pointing those out as a bounce candidate because SanDisk had been beaten down so much. And how about IBM? IBM had a great move on their earnings on Thursday, Wednesday night, and into Thursday. Had a great move. Look at the stock. I mean, this is just classic here. Look, consolidating here. And look, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And just kind of fell apart a little bit into the end of the day today. Helping to drag stocks lower as some financials did. But short term, if you're just trading stock options, this is what we'd like to do. We don't care about moves over the long term, especially if you're trading short-term stock options, obviously. All you care about is the quick move, and that's what we got. We had the move from approximately 40 cents to over $2. That's a 5-bagger. And that's IBM. It's a blue chip. Not supposed to move that much, and like I've said before in some of my videos, that's why we take advantage of some of these blue chip stocks like ExxonMobil, Boeing, and we have Caterpillar next week. And I'll get into that in my video. I'm going to have another live event class Sunday night, an earnings class, go over earnings, and if you're lucky enough, maybe I'll put a little video together. We'll go over some earnings. This earnings season has just been stellar so far for option traders. Some spectacular moves, and that's what we're trying to trade. We don't care what happens. We just want to be positioned for it. And if you look at a stock like Chipotle Mexican Grill, you don't even have to be positioned for one direction. You can be positioned for both directions. So, like I was saying in my earnings video Sunday night, I thought Chipotle Mexican Grill was at a juncture where the stock was running out of steam. It was losing momentum, but it could have been consolidating for another move higher. You could have positioned yourself both directions for out of the money options, out of the money calls and puts, $100 each, and you'd be sitting on well over 10 grand right now. And that's why we trade stock options. So tune into my live event class Sunday night to go over earnings for this week. We have Apple. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't like people, sit down, talk about a movie that I haven't watched, and they tell me the ending. I don't like that stuff. So tune in, and you'll know all you need to know when you tune in. So UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and take care. Goodbye.